Hello, and today is going to be finally, I feel like I say finally in every video, but finally a 2022 project pan video. But this year I'm going to be doing things a little bit different from 2021. I'm still going to be doing panning videos, but I think my approach to my makeup collection into panning is a little bit different than it was last year. And I've just realized that I can't stick to very strict project pans as much as I'd like to hit pan in all of these items and keep track of usage goals. That's just not what works for me in my makeup collection. I will say it is a little better now because I do work at an internship, but it's like full-time. I wake up and I put makeup on almost every day. There are some days when I'm like, oh, I really don't want to get out of bed and spend the time on my makeup, so I will just put on concealer, mascara, and eyebrows. But I do wear makeup more often than I did last year, so I feel more confident in hitting these goals. But essentially, some of them are going to be more broad category goals, or like, I want to try and do this within the full year, but I don't want to have, like, I have a full face of project pan items and I feel restricted to that. I more so just want to make a video about, like, these are the goals that I'm trying to hit anyways, very relaxed, like, keep it in my drawer, and when I get to use it, I get to use it, but not to make progress as soon as possible, you know? So, my background still isn't done, but I did buy this WandaVision, I can't talk. It's a painting. Someone painted that, and I bought it, and I think it looks beautiful. So, my background is still a work in progress. It's not really background at all. It's just what I've had in my room so far. This has been here since I've ever lived here, and I hung that up. This is from, I want to say when I read Empire of Storms. This came with the book, I don't know, some Sarah J Maas book. And then I hung these lights up, which you can't really see, but they're all over the wall. So, getting to my background, but anyways, let's get into the project pan. Okay, so I'm going to start with primer, since that's the first part of my makeup collection. There's a truck literally trying to back in right there. But I want to use my primers more, but I don't necessarily need to use them up. But I do want to make a conscious effort to try and get like halfway done with my Auric Glow Lust. You can tell from the front of the packaging that I have used this quite a bit. This has been laying on its side though, so it's not a completely accurate measure to where I am. But I'm like pretty far down this product. I'm looking at it right now, and I'm probably like a third of the way through. So I don't want to use this up because I don't like it, but this is something that is very expensive and is something that I like so much that if I didn't use this up, I would be genuinely upset about it. And I'm kind of wanting to try the shade Morganite, but it's really hard to convince myself to want to buy that when I already have this one. So for right now, I want to just make it a goal to use this one, possibly up in 2022, but I just think halfway is a good goal for me. It's hard because there's a lot on the side, but I mean, I've used a decent bit of this up. I do use it as a foundation pretty often, which is why I think I have used it up, but I have had it now for a year, and it has, I think it's just a year shelf life. It's not on here, but I would like to use this halfway up, and then if I use it halfway up, I can allow myself to buy Morganite if I want to. So, not a goal to use it up, and I don't dislike this product, but generally I just want to see more usage on this before I buy a new shade, because this shade still does work fine for me. My next goal is to use up at least one foundation. My cat is trying to get over here. She's trying to look out the window. Hello. This is Maisie. She looks so cute right now. I've never used up a foundation, I don't think. I've used up concealers, but I just have a good number in my collection, and none of them are like holy grail status, I don't think. There's like something small wrong with each one. So, and also they just expire. So I would like to use at least one of them up, and my contenders are the Fenty Beauty Eavesdrops and the Rare Beauty Foundation. Ideally, I would like it to be the Rare Beauty Foundation because this one is older. And I thought I was closer to using this one up, but when I looked in here, it looked pretty full still. So I really don't know. I used this one quite a bit, but it only looks to be like a third of the way done. So if I can make progress on using up at least one foundation in my collection, that would be great. And I don't think I need to do like heavy focus on this foundation right now. I just think it's a good idea to be using my foundations, and if I don't know what to pull for, I want to pull for one of these. The Rare Beauty one I do really enjoy because it has great coverage. Please don't play with the lights. This chair is really squeaky. I like this one for the coverage because in the mornings before work, I don't have to build it up as much as some of my other foundations, but it can be a little bit drying. With good skin prep though, it looks beautiful on the skin. When this one is working, it's working beautifully, but sometimes it is a little dry. The Fenty one isn't as dry as the Rare Beauty one, but sometimes it can look a little bit dry. But my main thing with this one is it looks best applied with fingers, and a lot of the times I don't feel like applying it with fingers because that means I have to get up and wash my hands after I apply foundation, and it's just not what I'm going for. But this one, you guys know I've raved about a lot and is one that I bought last year, so I don't really need to be using it up right now. But this one is the closest one to using up, I think, because I think I'm like halfway done with this. And I use a little bit more because it doesn't have as high of coverage. So if I could get one of these out of my collection, I'd be happy. Preferably Rare Beauty, but realistically, it's probably going to be Fenty. I could also maybe see myself using up the Tower 28 one, because I mean there's an ounce in it, but like I've already gotten the bubble out and I feel like I use a decent bit of this, so I don't know. I'll just kind of update, I think in my Project Pan update videos, I'll just tell you which foundation I've been using the most lately or if I made good progress in any of them. But I just want to use up a foundation and I don't want to tell myself exactly which one it has to be, because honestly I think I can use up multiple foundations if I'm using makeup the same way I do right now, because people use up foundations in like 3 months. So just keeping it a goal of I actually want to use up a foundation. Next, concealer. These are goals I know I can hit. I first want to use up the Dior Forever Skin Correct concealer. I'm right here on this concealer, so I'm almost halfway done. I can definitely use this one up. I used it today. This is my favorite concealer to use on my cheeks to cover up redness, but I just don't feel like I found my holy grail concealer. I'm wearing it on my under eyes today, and I've been wearing this makeup, let's see, for 10 hours now for work, and it looks great on the cheeks. Wow. The coloring looks really bad on camera. It looks super yellow on my face and pale on my neck. But in person, it looks fine. So I don't know. Anyways, but on the under eyes, it's just not my favorite, and it creases a little bit, but mainly it's just not my favorite looking on the under eyes. So I think I could definitely use this one up pretty easily, especially because I want to try a new concealer, but I feel like I really don't need to right now. And then the Kosas concealer I opened pretty recently, but I used up a full one of these last year. And I use concealers on my cheeks because I have a lot of redness, and doing it that way, it is so easy to use them up. This one, I want to like this one so badly, and it's great, and it's not too drying, but it's not as hydrating if you have super dry under eyes, but it's fairly hydrating, but it creases on me so badly. It creases more than the Dior one, and it's not like a deal breaker where I won't wear it, but I always know I'm going to get really bad creases on my under eyes because it's just a wet concealer. So I don't know. I probably like these pretty much equal, but I'm kind of liking the Dior one better just because I like how this one looks more, but this one performs better. So I would just like to use these ones up because I like to have goals to use up concealers, and I would like to try a new one. I have my eye on the Shiseido one. So these should be pretty easy to do. Probably, I don't know. If I'm focusing on them both at once, I don't know if I can get them done super quickly, but I think I can definitely at least get done with them by the end of the year. But I think I can use up one of them at midway through the year, and it's going to be the Dior, I think. Although the Dior one contains 0.37 fluid ounces and the Kosas contains 0.2. But I don't know. We will see. But I would like to use up both of these, especially this one. Smells like expired goat cheese once it expires, so I don't know. This concealer just expires really fast. So anyways, like to use these two up. Next one, I have already hit my goal on this, so I'm changing the goal. But the NARS Light Reflecting Translucent Powder, I wanted to hit pan on, and I'm putting it in here because I actually hit pan on it, but in January. So it's part of my Project Pan, the first pan of 2022. You can see it in there. I did not expect to hit pan. I knew I was getting kind of close, but I didn't expect it at all. And I would like to use this one up. This is my favorite powder, so it's not because I dislike it, but I do like to get products moving through my collection, because if I like something and I don't use it up, it's gonna go bad, or I don't know. Powder doesn't really go bad, but I would like to expand the pan on this one. I do want to try more powders, but I would just like to expand the pan on this one since I did already hit my goal. I don't know if I can use this one up. I put a pressed powder in my project pan last year, and I hit pan on that one pretty quickly, and it took me a long time to actually use it up. And so I don't think I'm going to be able to use it up. It's good to get through pressed powders fairly often if I want to be buying a new one. I want to try the Charlotte Tilbury one, Pat McGrath under eye powder, I don't know. Would I repurchase the NARS one? Probably. But I will see if my goal changes as I expand the pan more. I don't know why she's looking like that out the window, but for now, I'll say use it up, but at least expand the pan if I want to change my mind about that one. I also have the Kosas powder that I need to work through, but I know I'm not going to reach for it as much as long as this one's in my collection. So I don't have strong pan usage, whatever, goals for my blushes, because whenever I do that, I just hate myself because I like to rotate through my blushes. But generally, I would just like to get use out of my blushes and feel like I use them more than 5 times, because I think in the past, I will say I love a blush, but really I haven't used it very often. So I want to get more use out of my blushes and also curate my collection more to the point where I don't feel the need to pan one. One in particular that I'm really focusing on, I will actually show you. I'm not putting this in as I want to pan it, but one that I do want to see the most progress on this year is my Patrick Ta blush duo, and She's That Girl. This is one of my older blushes in my collection. I bought this when it came out, and I don't want to use this one every week. I don't want to do that, but I want to curate my collection enough to where I get use out of all of my blushes, and particularly I want to see usage on this one because it's probably going to go bad this year. And it's a really pretty everyday shade. I love this color for everyday. I don't really use the powder, if you can tell, but I've used the cream a decent bit, and I don't want to like give updates on this every month or anything like that because this is not in my project pan, but my goal is to curate my blush collection to where I'm actually using everything. And I love almost all my blushes in my collection right now, so it's going to be hard because I still have a decent bit. But I want to just work on curating it and using them and getting to know them more. And with this one in particular, I would like to just make it my everyday like blush that I fall back on if I don't know what to use. So that is that one. For bronzers, I want to work through some creams. So first one is one that I want to use up, and it's the Fenty Beauty Cream Bronzer in the shade Butter Biscuit. This one I've been using the past week or two, and I know people use this one up so fast. People use this up in like 3 months. I take forever to use up products. I just use the smallest bit. I don't know why, but I just use a very small amount. But I would like to use this one up because it's nearing 2 years old, and that is pretty old in my opinion for cream products. So this is how it's looking like right now. I had this in my project pan last year, and then once I hit pan on it in I think 3 months, and it was about 30 uses that I hit pan. So I would like to just use it up. I know it's going to be hard, but I want to force myself to just go in more often with this. Even if I'm using a powder, I want to do a light layer of this first and just really make a conscious goal to get this one out of my collection. Otherwise, it's going to be thrown out of my collection by the end of the year. And then in addition to that, these are just the two that I'm going to be bouncing between. I would like to make progress on my Patrick Ta duo for no other reason than I love this one and I want to use it more often and I want to see progress on it. So I want to hit pan on the cream side and I want to wear away on the imprint on the powder side. And I'm probably closer to the powder goal right now, so I don't know if you're going to be able to tell. But especially on the T, it's almost completely worn down. The P has a little bit up there, but it's pretty worn down. And I think it's just because when you go in with the powder bronzer, you just kind of swirl all over it and you pick up a little bit more product. And then this is what the cream side looks like. Not really a big dip, but generally wear this one down and get a dip or hit pan on this. I would be happy. I would repurchase the Patrick Ta one, and at this point I wouldn't repurchase the Fenty one just because it's been in my collection now for 2 years and I'm kind of over it. But I really like these, and these are going to be the ones that I focus on because I do like seeing usage in pan products. and I want to see usage in my bronzers especially. I'm not putting a powder bronzer in here because the two that I have are massive, but these two I would like to see progress on. I don't know which one I want to do first, which is why I'm just putting both in here because I don't know. It's going to just kind of be like whichever one I want to reach for, I reach for, and I will see progress on both of them instead of just hard focusing on one and getting burnt out. Highlighter. My goal is to declutter a lot of them, but in particular, it's not really a panning goal, but it's a get to know goal. And I would like to get to know this giant Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Superstar Glow highlighter more. I have not used this in so long, and at this point, I don't want to get rid of it, but I don't remember how I feel about it. So I want to use this one enough to know if I love it and I want to hit pan on it because I have a decent little mark there, or if I want to just declutter it. So within the next month or two, I want to use this one up. No, not use this one up. This is giant, but I want to use this one enough to know if I want to get rid of it. And I'm actually going to apply some right now. I haven't used this in months and I loved this when I first used it. But now at this point, it's like, I don't know if I even want to keep it, but I don't want to do that if I haven't used it in so long. So makeup's been on for a while. I'm just gonna throw some of it on. Yeah, like that's pretty. Like I'm not mad about it. And it's a darker color, but it just kind of blends into my cheek products and it's invisible when you look straight on. Wow, my eyeshadow has creased so badly. I'm thinking it's maybe like my moisturizer because my eye makeup has never done that. It's just like disappeared. So I'm thinking my moisturizer is maybe a bit too wet. I don't know. Anyways, those are my cheek product goals. And then I don't put mascara goals in here because I just throw them out after 3 months. Eye primer, I don't want to have goals on, but eyeshadow, I will talk about while I reapply some eyeshadow since it looks terrible. Also, I'd like to say that this Glossier brush I just bought for no reason and it's my favorite eyeshadow brush. Anyways, my goal for eyeshadow, I would like to hit pan on an eyeshadow, but I don't think I want to do that by putting it in a project pan, per se. Wow, that really faded a lot now that I see the color on there. Just because whenever I put eyeshadow in a project pan, I don't know what it is, but I immediately don't want to use it. And lately for work, I've been enjoying my powder eyeshadows. Not my giant palettes, but I've been really liking my quads because it offers me like the ease of applying things easily with a brush, and obviously not longevity now that I'm looking at it, but it just doesn't overwhelm me with too many options, and I just really like quads. So my goal is to reduce my eyeshadow collection overall, and I want to see usage. That's my main thing this year, is not even pans, but I feel like my collection sits unused. I feel like I don't really know my collection that well, and it looks unused, you know? So I would like to use my eyeshadows more. I would like to hit pan on a quad, and if I were to guess, it would be either the Makeup by Mario quad, the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk quad, or maybe even this Natasha Denona one, which is the one I'm applying. I just got this one. But just those quads that are perfect for every day, I want to see usage on, you know? I like watching people like Jessica Braun, and they say that an eyeshadow is their favorite, and you can tell. I like looking through the collection, and you can just tell what things are favorites, and she still has a lot of makeup and uses a lot of different makeup, but I just want to have the relationship similar to like Hannah Louise Poston, where I really, like, if you watch her reviews, she really knows her collection. And I've just realized that sometimes I really don't know my collection like that. So, anyways, this feels like a get ready with me now that I'm sitting here putting on eyeshadow. But, anyways, I just want to use my eyeshadows a lot more. I also want to see dips and possibly, also this eyeshadow palette is stunning. Obviously not doing a good job blending right now because I'm blending it on top of greasy eye makeup that has been sitting on my face for 10 hours. But my goals for eyeshadow are just going to be very simple. I want to see dips, and I think whenever I want to do monthly project pan updates, but if I don't have anything to update, maybe I'll do bi-monthly or whenever I have updates. But When I do those, I will probably just share the eyeshadows that I've been using the most lately so you can see progress with them. But if I'm going to share things that I would ideally like to have pan in by the end of the year, let me grab those. Okay, so one of these four I would like to see pan in, and if I could hit pan on all of these, that would be really awesome because these are currently my favorites. First is Natasha Denona Mini Biba. Did I say retro earlier? I don't know. I just got this, but I can already tell that the color story is going to be great for every day. And if I fall out of love with it, then I'm sorry for preemptively jumping the gun. But just a stunning eyeshadow palette. I love the size of it. I love the colors. Next, Makeup by Mario Nude One. This is like my quad. This is my favorite eyeshadow palette probably. Perfect for every day. I could wear this with any eye look and I'd be happy with it. And I could totally see myself hitting pan on this one. In fact, if I told myself to use this shade to set my eye primer every day, I could hit pan on that one realistically because those are really easy for me to hit pan on. But this one, the Patrick Ta Big Major Dimension palette, if I could hit pan on one of these, I would be so happy. If it were to be a shade, it would be either this peachy shimmer or the matte that's next to the peachy shimmer because those are the ones that I use the most. And then maybe Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk. This one's kind of at the end of the rankings. So my top two, if I could hit pan on the Patrick Ta eyeshadow palette or the Makeup by Mario eyeshadow quad, I would be so happy. But generally, I think these are the three palettes that I would like to see dips in within the next few months to really reflect what my makeup tastes are. So I'm sorry if that's confusing and not really a good project pan goal, but I don't like restrictive, like I want to hit pan on this palette. I think it's fun to watch, but in reality, that's not what I like to do. For my single eyeshadows, I want to just use them more. I don't really like putting goals on them, but generally, if I could see dips in my Victoria Beckham one, like a dip where a fingerprint is, that would be awesome. So I have the shade Honey first, which I feel like could definitely get there. Please focus. But not a dip right now. And then the other shade I have is Chiffon, which I got pretty recently. So that's what that one looks like. I just want to see dips in these. These are expensive. They're also powders. I don't know why it matters about powders, but I'd like to see dips in those. And then I would like to potentially hit pan on, not Charlotte Tilbury, Auric Temper. It's a cream eyeshadow. This is my favorite cream eyeshadow in my collection. And I don't want this one to go bad. And I want to see the usage that I know I love on this one. So just like to see usage on things. This project pan video I feel like is so bad. And it's such like a loose goal video. But it's just honestly how I'm feeling right now. I might update it to make it more strict later on. But right now I am really enjoying letting myself pick what I want in my collection. And I think that has brought me a lot of joy with my makeup because sometimes I just felt so overwhelmed and like I didn't want to wear makeup because I knew I had to reach for a palette. But when I'm just letting myself reach for whatever and then the things in my project pan video are my favorites that I can easily fall back on, it makes it a lot easier to do these. So that's the end of my project pan video. Actually, I forgot lip products. Generally, I would like my lip products to fit in my organizer a little bit more. I don't need to use any of these up, to be honest, because the ones that I would want to use up, they're not my favorites, and I want to be able to use my favorites. I want to use up one Tower 28 gloss, I guess, and then use up this NARS balm, which I think I could easily do. So I'll put some on right now. I don't even know if I'm going to post this video because now that I'm filming it, I feel kind of insecure about it, that I don't really have strict goals, and the goals that I do have are very much just like use my favorites and eventually see progress on them. But that's how I'm feeling. I just want to see progress on my makeup collection. I don't feel the need to get anything out of my makeup collection right now, but I want to see love on my products, or at least use them enough to feel like I really know them. So my goal of 2022 with my project pan is to just love on my products, and whether that means hitting pan, getting a dip, or just not seeing any changes, but really knowing that I know the product inside and out, that is my goal. So each month I will share small updates with things that you can really see the progress on, but generally I think I will share the things that I've been using the most lately. So if I used a blush a lot one month or an eyeshadow a lot one month, I will just show you those because I feel like that is interesting and you get the balance of the project pan with also knowing what I was loving and using and actually loving on. So let me know how that sounds to you guys. I don't know, feeling kind of weird about it now that I'm saying it out loud, but anyways, I'm gonna go because this video is super long. I hope you guys enjoyed and I will see you in my next video. Bye!